Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of XLR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. The hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a live classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Wanna get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. XLR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it.
very much interested in learning digital marketing course for a very long period of time, but I don't get a proper platform. So later for my college, I get to know about XLR and I enroll in XLR course. It was really good experience. Our course has been taken by Mayur sir, and he was very good teacher. He not only focusing on theory part, he is doing how real digital marketing works, and it was in total very good experience. I get so much of knowledge. Here they're not only focusing on study, they're also conducting different exams to test our knowledge. And as we are giving the exam, so to appreciate our work, they give certificates for the toppers, and along with the certificate they give hampers. Thank you, XLR.
Recently, I was searching for digital marketing courses online in Google, and I came across XLR, and I attended a digital marketing course which was for 15 days. My mentor Mayur helped me for attending these classes. So he is a very informative and helpful guy. In the course end, there is a exam which I topped. So I came to the XLR office in Bengaluru. This digital marketing course has helped my career and my skills to develop, and the certificate has helped my company to join. Thank you, XLR.
I came to know about this course from my college. Actually, for learning platform, this is very nice, and I learned from here ChatGPT and AI from online. Vikas is teaching for me for AI Generative and ChatGPT. We are using this technology in more. And after finishing the courses, I came for collecting the certificate. I seen the classrooms and faculties. Classroom is very nice. After the completion of exam, they will give gift and certificates. Thank you, XLR, for giving these courses. I learned a lot from this. I gained the more knowledge from here. And thank you for XLR for teaching us.
Hello guys, I'm Vikram Mahajan and I'm studying in Swami Vivekananda Institute of Technology College, and I came across a training program which was mobile app development using Flutter, which was given to us by XLR Solutions. I came across this program through my college faculty who told us about this program, that it is a very good course and you should enroll in this course. So I enrolled in this course, and initially I felt really good about this course because...
Good afternoon, dear faculty members. We are starting a session in 2 minutes. Please be waited. We are starting in 2 minutes.
They started everything from a very basic point of view, that even if someone who doesn't know anything about Flutter or anything about mobile app development can also learn, the same way the ones who know about it are learning. So no student was left behind and everyone was given equal attention. All the doubts throughout the course were cleared. And if we had any questions also, we were like, the trainer was also ready to stay for a longer time than it was scheduled, even for the sake of doubts. So that shows how important the students are to them. So it was a really good experience with XLR's program, and by the end of the training program, I was able to develop my own application And through the development also there was another point. Yeah, so our sir taught us about how we can connect our own mobile phone to our laptop and write code in our laptop, and you can see the output in your phone. It's just really creative.
It's good afternoon all. I hope you all doing well. Good afternoon, Sir Apsu. I hope my voice is audible to everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, you can take over the class.
Sure. Just a 2 minutes. Yeah. Hello everyone. Welcome back. So yeah. So meanwhile, everyone is joining in. Let's wait for a few minutes. Meanwhile, we'll discuss few things. So as thank you so much for such a great response, everyone. By the way, many of you have actually texted on LinkedIn saying maybe we can just implement whatever we have been teaching, right? So that was the plan itself today. So whatever things we did yesterday or whatever things we learned, right? So we learned about different prompt techniques we learned about. We learned about how to, let's say we talked about different models. So that will be the same idea. We'll be doing the same thing. But what we'll do is we'll build everything from scratch, right? So I'll be opening a whole new folder, right? And from that folder, we'll just try to create everything from scratch, right? How to do that? Then we'll learn about all the techniques. We'll understand how to implement a simple, let's say, from starting from the very basic ones, like how to write a simple prompts till going into the very advanced COT techniques and tree based techniques. We'll learn about every single thing. uh, I'll be implementing this on a very small scale, right? I won't be going into like extreme depth about everything. Writing simple codes, okay, so that everyone is able to understand how exactly we are creating the structures, and how exactly we are following this. So everyone, feel free to Surya Kiran, assistant professor. Sure. Hello. Okay. So everyone, feel free to just join me. Feel free to just do it side by side. Okay. If you have the VS Code installed in your system, okay. So usually we try to code everything in VS Code because when you talk about production grade programming, the kind of interface that it provides, or we can say, the ease with which you can write the codes over there very easily. It's just like your own local system, right? Very easily you can just write it there. So it's just more easy to write it. It's more intuitive to write it, and it's more readable to write it. You can very easily create different folders. You can create very proper structures over there, right? So we'll be doing all of that one by one. From the very basics, we'll create the folders. From that, we'll start. Everything will be from scratch. Okay. So if anyone is interested, can definitely follow, right? And if the time permits, then sure. Oh, that sounds so. Uh, Sushmita ma'am, can you just read the message? I think that makes sense.
Yeah, sure, sir.
No, Mohammed sir has sent some message.
Oh, I'm not able to see that message. I think he have message to you. Can you please forward that to me?
I can't copy it, so basically, hello, Mohammed sir, if you can just post it again to everyone, it would be great.
He can post to the course, like post. There is a post access. He can just message me on that. Yeah.
Direct message to me. So it was, so he's saying, it's like, let's have a 1 minute prayer for all those who suffered in yesterday's terrorist attack. Uh, totally agree with it. So, yes, I think definitely we can spend a minute for that.
1 second. Like, I'll just check the message. Yeah, okay, we can wait for 1 minute. We'll pray for them, then we'll start the session. Yeah, thank you all. So we'll start for the day. Saurabh sir, you can please take over the case.
Okay. Yes, thank you so much, everyone. Yes, yes. Now am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you're audible.
Sure. Okay, now, and to every participant, instead of directly sending message to me personally on the chat, so you can just share it with everyone or maybe with the team, so that they can read your message and try to answer it, right? So that would be good for you. Okay. So now, guys, let's, we are perfectly good to go. So what we'll be doing is, first of all, this is how exactly the VS Code looks like. Okay. So this is the whole interface that we have. And from here now, we have different, ways to start this particular code, or let's say project. So the very first thing that we'll do is, you have multiple ways, right? So either what you can do, you can clone a repository, So when you say clone a repository, let's say whatever repository you want, let's suppose there is a code that is in the GitHub. So you want to take that particular code in your local system. So you can just take that particular URL. You can simply clone the repository, enter the address of that particular, or let's say, uh, just enter the URL over here. Press enter. It will ask you to select which particular folder you want to store this particular project into in your local system. You can just select that and you're good to go, right? So that is one. But now here we'll be doing everything from scratch, so we don't have to, worry about anything else. So let's suppose we'll start directly with the open. So first of all, we'll just directly try to create a folder over here. So maybe what I'll do is, let's suppose I'll try to create a folder. Let's say any sample folder again. Okay, let's suppose. Okay, inside the, let's say, desktop, I'll create. Let me create a one folder. Let's suppose basic to advanced prompt engineering. Right? So let's suppose I have created a folder. I'll create it. Now I'll just open it. That's it. Click simply open. Now you'll see that, yes, do this trust. And now you'll see that, guys, here. You have the folder over here. Okay. So as of now, we don't have any files. That's totally fine. Now, eventually, one by one, we'll create those files. Now, the very first thing that we always need to create into any kind of, project that will solve, or, any kind of, let's say you talk about any project. It's not only related to this one. You talk about any project. So you will always have to, make sure you are following a certain structure for it. Means there is a proper structure that we need to follow, and then only, you can start that particular project. So the first and foremost thing that we need to think about is creating the virtual environment. Now let me tell you what this virtual environment is. Okay, first of all, guys, can you all see this code? Can you all see this different folders created over here? Or like, what is visible? Anyone? Can you see this Zoom screen now? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes.
The Zoom screen visible, right?
Yeah, there is one screen which black color. It is visible.
No, yes, okay, fine. Now, what we'll do, the first thing that I told you that we need to think is about creating the virtual environment. Now, let me first of all explain you guys what virtual environment is. And then, I know. No VS, oh yeah, VS Code, yes. Okay. So first of all, let me explain you what virtual environment is. Now, guys, imagine, let's suppose you are writing a certain project, right? So the simple expectation is that we try to create some kind of environment for that particular project itself. Means whatever kind of things that will be written in that particular project, right? So those every single thing will be stored into that particular virtual environment, right? Now let me explain you in very simple terms what exactly the virtual environment is and why it is required for every single project. So we create multiple environments for every different types of projects. So whatever project is there, we just create for that. So why it is required? So first of all, I'll explain you that and then we'll move forward. Now see here, guys. Again, let me just share my, just a sec. Okay. Okay, so now, guys, now just imagine, okay? Let's say, first of all, there are a few things that we'll discuss and then we'll begin. Now imagine here. See, now when I talk about, let's say, what is virtual environment? Okay, now see, when I talk about a virtual environment, right? Now, for every single project, even if you're telling someone, even if you're teaching someone, always remember, try to create the virtual environments and then only start the projects. I'm pretty sure that maximum of you might have already have an idea what exactly it is, but there are also many who might not have an idea. So for them, we'll just discuss it. So you can just understand, virtual environment is just like an, we can say a mini Python setup. Okay, just like a mini Python setup. So what exactly it will be there? And let's suppose now I'm creating a certain project. Okay, and for that particular project, let's suppose I have required, let's suppose, version of Python is required, let's say 3.8. Okay, let's say for machine learning, any kind of algorithm is there. Okay, let's suppose we have used, let's say, 3.2 version. So in simple terms, what? For every single project, let's suppose now we are using as a backend, let's suppose we are using Fast API. Okay, and let's say for a Fast API, let's suppose version uses, let's say 3.6. Now, whenever we try to create this project, while creating this project, these are the main, we can say, these are the, let's say, we can say packages that we have used. And this is the version of that particular package that is being used. Right? But now guys, understand, let's suppose now, today this particular thing is there. So definitely there is going to be an upgrade tomorrow. Let's suppose there is 3.8 will come. For sure it's going to come. After that, let's suppose 4.2 is coming. Let's say 4.6 is coming. So this is going to be an increasing process. Right? Now imagine, let's suppose when your code, or let's say the complete code is built when the version was 3.6. Right? And now let's suppose now you got a new version called as, let's say, 4.2. So what will happen is, let's say what exactly this virtual environment is doing, this virtual environment will try to store that particular complete setup into this particular environment only. Means this will say, okay, this environment, what exactly it will do? It will say that, okay, this is the, thing that I have used in this particular project. So if anyone wants to run this project, automatically, this is the thing that will be installed directly on their system. There's something called a requirements file that we'll understand. So automatically this will be installed in their system. Because now imagine, let's suppose now, tomorrow, let's suppose I have given you the repo of this. Now you will install it on your system. And now if you start running it, you will immediately start getting the errors. Provided, let's suppose now from 3.6, let's suppose there is new version 4.2. Okay. And now if you try to run it in your system, you will directly get the errors. Why? Because this particular code is written thinking that, okay, this version is 3.6. But now we have version 4.2. So there will be a deprecation errors. Deprecation errors. Okay. So the main thing is that now let's suppose what you will do now, you will, take this particular whole code in your system and you will start, let's suppose now at this particular point, you have Fast API. You are installing. Okay. It is required. So you're installing. And let's suppose Fast API required is, let's suppose 3.6. But when you written the code, you have used Fast API called, let's say 2.8, something like this. Now, automatically, when you will install, okay, pip install Fast API, automatically the latest version will get installed. Let's have it just like WhatsApp, right? If you try to download a WhatsApp new, automatically the newest version will be downloaded. Let's suppose someone is using, so he might have the previous version because he might have not updated the WhatsApp or any kind of application, right? So that is what exactly we are trying to say. So now when you will try to install this particular Fast API, you will see this particular error. Okay, what? Okay, we are expecting version. You will see, okay, whatever code that you have shown to me, in that particular code, the version of the, let's say, Fast API uses 2.8. The whole code is written thinking about 2.8. And now you have 3.6. The two codes are not compatible. We call them as a conflicts. There is a conflicts of the requirements. Okay. Whatever package that you are using, there is a conflict of that particular package. And because of that, you cannot run this code. So therefore, the virtual environment will keep your dependencies isolated. Means once you create a virtual environment, then automatically whatever versions that you are used for that particular project, every single thing will be stored at particular place. You will not, means what, in that particular environment only every single thing will happen. Okay. So imagine, okay, in very simple terms, I would say, imagine, let's suppose having a different kitchens for different cuisines, right? Let's say for Italian there is different, for Indian there is different, so it is just like the same thing. We don't want to mix that particular thing with this one. Okay, so it is just trying to keep everything separate, trying to keep different projects separate, and trying to have the very perfect balance of all these particular environments. Okay, so that is the simple analogy of how exactly you create the virtual environments, right? So I hope now you understood this. So let's get back to VS Code now. Yeah, now just tell me if my VS Code is visible to everyone. Yeah. Yeah, this empty VS Code is visible, everyone? Just a second. Yes. Okay. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll first of all talk about how to create this virtual environment. Right. So let me. Okay. So for that, first of all, what we'll do, you will go to this particular, let's say, terminal. In this, just click a new terminal. Okay. You will see that now. See, automatically now you are into this particular folder. See, you are into basics to advanced prompt engineering. See, right? That is the only correct path that we have. So we are already into that particular place. Now, as soon as we get to this particular place, the first thing that we need to do is, we need to create a virtual environment. Now, again, if you don't know, no need to worry. Just one simple line of code. You can just search it on Google, ChatGPT, anywhere. So how would you write? Let's say Python 3. Let's say Python -m. Okay. venv is a command. venv is a command. Now, see, if you are using Mac, it's a bit different. For Mac and Linux, it's a bit different. And for, let's say Windows, it's a bit different, right? So, and you can, command is same. Command is same. How to activate that, that is just different. I'll tell you how it is. Now, see, Python 3 -m venv, and you can give any name that you want to give. Let's suppose my env, something like this. Or you can also give a name like, let's say, env for, let's suppose, no, this prompts. You can also give this also. No problem. But we always try to keep it standard. It's like my env or just simply venv only. Anything is fine. So let's suppose I'll create my env. Enter it. Oh, Python 3 is there. Sorry. Now see, guys. Can you see this folder has been created? Right? Everyone? Okay. Now see, inside this now I have bin, lib, and include everything. Now, when you will, when you will install this particular thing on Windows, instead of this particular bin, you will see scripts. And that's the only difference we have. Okay. So how do we, let's activate it now. Let's say simply source. Okay. Just simply put SOU and just place the tab. Automatically, whatever the name is coming, it will automatically detect it. Source. Then bin is there, bin. Sorry, first of all, my name. Okay, sorry. My source. My env. Bin and activate. And guys, here. Can you see this now? Now we are into the virtual environment. Now our virtual environment is activated. So whatever code that we'll write, every single code will return inside this virtual environment. Okay. So now you are writing this into environment. Now let's suppose if you do, let's say if you do this, okay, deactivate. Okay. So see, it is now on. So now if you write anything over here, so every single thing will be, downloaded locally. Okay. It will be stored into your system and you even don't know where it is stored. So therefore, it is always a good thing. You always try to activate the environment and write every single type of project in your environment only. Let that be smallest of the project. Let that be practice also. It's always a good habit to follow a certain structure, because when we write the codes in the industries, we follow a certain structure. With that structure only we move forward. Without that, we don't do anything. Okay, you will never see a random codes are written directly functions, directly for loops. No, there is a proper structure, and with that structure only we'll create everything. Okay, so I hope guys, everything is clear till here. Now what we'll do, let's try to, get into understanding now what to do next. Now see, one thing to we created is, let's say now we have one thing is in place. Like we already have this, let's say environment is activated, right? Now what I'll do now, first of all, I'll try to create the different folders for it. Okay, now see here, the simple command is this one. Now, what is the command? Simply make a directory, mkdir, make directory, config I will need a directory, utils I will need, examples I will need, and basic, intermediate, and advanced. So like this, 3 different types of prompts you have to write, right? So yesterday I have shown you this one, right? Let's suppose proper structure I have shown you of the code. Okay, over here. Let's suppose now, yeah, example, right? Let's suppose now I have shown you this particular thing, right? Yesterday. Where is that code? Yeah, okay. So example. Now you'll see, right? See here. Now if I go to this basic to advanced, now you will see that all the files are there. See here, setting files are there. So I'll show you how to create everything. Don't worry. Okay. So see here, I have advanced, basic, config, example, intermediate, and prompt engineering, util files. Every single thing is there. Okay, VNV is there. So we will be following the exact same structure. Okay, we are going with exact same structure because every single code has to be written in a certain way. So we are just following the same thing that we have done already. जो हमने already किया है, that's the same thing that we'll do, right? Now see here, now that is being told. Now let me just get back here again. Yes. Okay, now I think that's done. Now see here, guys. As soon as I'll enter this, see here, guys, I have all the folders I have got already. You can see, so explicitly you don't need to do this. Okay, now try to automate yourself. Don't, okay, you can do here also. Let's say if you'll click here, maybe you'll write, okay, I will create XYZ folder. Enter, okay, it will be created. Right. But within one single line of command, let's say suppose if you're trying, sorry, if you're trying to write the whole structure, it's all well and good, right? So therefore, we always try to write the structures like this. Now, once that is done, now you will see that we have to create the different files inside this. Right. Still, there are no files inside this, right? Okay, mine is fine. There are no files inside that. So to create those particular file, we have something called as touch command. Now, when I say touch command means what? Very simple. Again, I will first of all try to create the different init folders for this. Now, simply look at this one. Now, say touch. Inside the tab, see config slash init.py, util slash init.py, example slash init.py. Now, okay, in very simple terms, guys, let's suppose if I explain in very simple terms, like why exactly init.py, sorry, init file, init.py, why it is required in every single project. Now, let me explain. Now, see here. In simple terms, now imagine, let's suppose this init file is just like an, see here. Okay, I'll just share my screen and share. Okay. Now, usually what happens, let's suppose whenever you try to create the different folders, right? Like this, one folder, two folder, three folder, right? So all this, so the main idea is that all these particular folders should be treated as a package, because we have to use this particular folder for our final implementations, right? Every single thing together is creating one single project. So to tell, okay, so to explicitly we have to mention the Python. So when you're writing the codes in the structure like this, explicitly you have to mention the Python. Okay, whatever folder that you have created, that folder is a package and not so simply storage folder. Okay, so it's not a simply storage folder. You have to treat it as a Python package. Okay, so let's suppose now I told you about utils. So now what exactly utils will run? So this utils folder that we have created, now we are trying to show, okay, there is some kind of Python file stored inside this. Okay, so now let's suppose, now you will see, now we are trying to import this util files to some different folder. Okay, this, inside the utils, let's suppose you have settings.py. So we'll try to insert this settings file to some other folder, right? So like this, we'll try to create. So therefore, what we do is, we explicitly have to mention, okay, yeah, this exactly, just like, it will just try to create a package out of any folder that is being given to you. Okay, just like a way to organize a project in better way. That's it. Okay, now that I hope that makes sense. Now, simple things are being created now. I think we are pretty good to go. Now, see here, I'll just enter it. Now, see here, guys. See, I have got automatically all the files over here. Now, you can say, okay, why can't I directly create it from there? Definitely, you can create. See, just create a file. Go to this folder. Okay, create a file and just give any name and .py, something like this. Just enter it. A file is created. Right. But now see, when you have option to do this, when you can write it in better way, it's always better. So all this particular documentation that I'm showing you, right? Whatever things I'm writing, every single thing is documented and all the documentation will be shared with you. Okay. So easily you can practice and, you can just explore about it. So, I hope these basic things are a bit clear till here. Now, the next thing we'll do is, inside this particular, there are a few more folders that we have. Now see here. Inside the basic also I'll need it. Inside the intermediate also I'll need it. And inside the advanced also I'll need it. So inside this, and you will see that, guys, now I have all the folders that are being in placed with me. I have all the folders that are in place with me. Okay. So I hope, guys, this makes sense to everyone. Everyone might have now understood at least the basics of it, how exactly, we create it. Now see, guys, to create a simple, first of all, see, before going anywhere, now what I'll do, I'll show you. The next thing that we need to think about is create the environment file. So .env, there is something called as, click here, .env. Now inside this particular .env, the complete secret keys, your API keys. Now see, here we'll be using OpenAI key. We'll be using how to use a ChatGPT key. Okay, that also I'll show you how to get that ChatGPT key if you don't know. Okay, but whenever you want to use any kind of key, right? So all the secret files, all the secret folders, every single thing will be stored inside this env folder. Okay, so I think yesterday also I've shown you, there we don't have much, but yeah, just imagine as the project gets bigger. Okay, so you need every single thing. So you have a data storages. So let's suppose for the data storages you have, let's say, AWS. So now you have AWS folder, secret keys, you have the bucket names, you have the EC2 server URLs over there, all the things that are important and which should be preserved and which cannot be exposed outside. As I told you, just like your password. Okay, if your password gets exposed, definitely there are high chances that there can be some kind of wrong activity that might happen on your account. Okay, so this is why exactly we always try to store these kind of things. So now here, first of all, I'll create an OpenAI key. So now, first of all, guys, okay, to those who don't know, okay, how many of you don't know how to create or how to get the API key from somewhere? Oh, there are many. No, no. Okay, fine, fine, fine. Okay, let me just tell you. Now, let me open this browser, right? Now, see here. What I'll do, first of all, a very simple thing. Just go to OpenAI key. OpenAI, sorry, OpenAI API key. That's it. Click on this particular OpenAI API over here and simply sign up. Okay, sign up and just explore this particular API keys. If you just click on this particular start building, now you will see get an API key for login. Now you just need to log in here. Login, okay, just log in with, okay, I'll just show you for one. Let's say, let's suppose now I have logged in through one, right? Now you will see that's here, guys. Now, if you just go over here, right, somewhere you will have it here itself. Or you can simply, oh, sorry, yeah, see here. Now go to the settings, right? And in here, you can see a API key over here. Simply go API key and create API key over here. Now you can just give any XYZ name to it. You can select any default project and simply create the key. Now guys, see, when you create the key, no, okay, I'll show it and create it. Let's suppose my API key. I'll create it. And guys, understand, this API key is visible only once. Immediately you have to copy it and you have to paste it in your system, or you have to store it anywhere, wherever you want to store. Once you close it, you will not be able to see this API key again. Okay, so up to $5, I think, as far as I know, we usually use the paid ones because we require it on high level. So usually whenever you will get this key, always you will see that, you will get a $5 something is there, where you can get a free usage. Up to $5, you can use it for free. After that, you have to take a paid thing only, right? So this is how exactly we get the API keys from the system. So you have gone to the this particular platform, and from there you have taken the API key. So it is not difficult to take any API key. If you want to take, let's say, any simple one. Let's suppose you don't want to go for the paid version, as I told you yesterday, right? So let's suppose now you have gone for, let's say, Mistral API key. See here, guys. Mistral API key. Simply go here, log in there, and get the API key. Nothing very different. The way we did it here, simply do it there. Nothing different. Okay. But yes, the implementation changes a bit. Now here, they're asking you to implement in this way. In our simple OpenAI, it's a bit different. If you use the Cloud A, it will be different. So everywhere, a simple basic differences will be there. Okay. It is just like, 5 different brands of the shoes. At the end of that, it's a shoes only. But the looks, then the changes, the prices, the quality, and every single thing. So according to that, these changes will come into place. Okay. Okay, guys, I hope everyone is understanding this and everyone is able to focus on what exactly I'm trying to tell everyone. So now see here, what I'll do now, first of all, I will create my API key. First of all, I will create my API key. Now, this is like a very, very important thing where I will try to store my API key that is being, that I have taken. Okay. Now what I'll do, let's say, okay. Now what I'll do, let's say I'll write one simple thing. Let's suppose I'll give a name like my API key or something like that. My API key, something like this. Okay. And I'll in the folder, I'll just paste it over here. So what I'll do, say this how exactly. So what I did now, I have stored my API key over here in the setting files. Okay, now API key stored. Now I'll just close it. Now I don't even need to look at this one. Now API key is into my environment. Now, second thing, now see, as soon as we are done with the API keys, the next thing that we need to move on, or next thing that we need to understand is how exactly now we'll create the different folders inside it. So the first thing that we require is a setting files. Okay, setting files. Now again, guys, one more thing. Now, if I show you one simple implementation, right? Let's suppose, now look at this implementation, and very basic one. I'll show you first of all. What I'll do, let's say, yeah. Now what I'll do, let's suppose now, first of all, I'll for time being, what I'll do before going into any advanced things, right? Or let's say creating and writing everything into folders. What I'll do, first of all, I'll just show you how exactly this runs in simple terms, and then one by one we'll go into the inside folders. Okay. So now see, first of all, what I'll do, let's suppose I'll create a sample test.py. Something like this I'll create. Okay. Just like a sample folder I have created and nothing else, right? Just like a sample folder. Now inside this particular sample folder, what I'll do, I will paste or I will write a very simple, a basic API key. Okay. A very basic API key. So then what I'll do, let's say, first of all, I will start writing this one. Let's say I have just posted it here. So first of all, from OpenAI, you need to import the OpenAI, right? So means what? There is if you want to use this particular thing, right? So you have to import it from somewhere. So as of now, I don't have the settings, so I'll not take it. Okay. And this API key, I'll also directly try to post it here now. Let me just show. So what I'll do now, see, usually what we do now, I'll tell you the flow. Whenever we create the setting files, right? So why it is required? So it is said that, whatever main, let's say we can say, let's say now I have written this model name over here. I have written the input like this over here, right? So whenever you try to write this model name, you need to give the temperature name, right? So you need to pass multiple things over here. Now, just like I have shown you the other day, again, let me get back here. Yeah. Okay. So just now I have shown you over here, right? Let's suppose OpenAI generate the prompt. Okay. So if you go to this template, right, you will see that, see, while doing the connections here, guys, these are all the things that are actually required to you. Okay. These are all the things that are required to you. So you need to get the OpenAI like this. You need to create a client of it. OpenAI client you need to create. And inside this client, you have to pass an API key over here. Okay. Inside this client, you have to pass this API key over here. So you'll see that, while writing any kind of prompt, you will see here. See, like this API key is created. Inside this, you have to write the API key. And this is how the simple implementation looks like. Okay. So what we'll do now, let's suppose, first of all, let's try to create a short answer about it. So first of all, let's say, now let's suppose, see, I have imported an OpenAI. So for now, we don't have a settings file. Okay. We only have the .env file. Now let's suppose if I want to get a response on, let's say, write a story about anyone. So what we'll do now, for that, let's see how exactly we can get the response. But see, now we don't have a settings file, right? So directly using env file, how exactly we load that and how exactly we do it. Now see here. So there are two different ways that we try to load our environment, or let's say any kind of keys inside our environment. Right? Now I'll tell you why. See here. Setting files means what, guys? We always try to store, let's say now we have env file. So this is just like a file where, we have all the secret keys stored over here. Okay. Now, whenever you talk about, let's say, any different file, right? Let's suppose now I'm talking about a setting file. So setting file will try to store the complete, you can say, architecture of this particular program. Means, okay, what kind of, how much temperature you have to use, right? So in here, you will see that. And I'll just show it to you. See here now. Any response, which is high level response. Let me just check it. See here, guys, you have to pass the instructions also. And here you will see that somewhere temperature is also given. So you also have to use the temperature also. Means what, guys? You have to, let's say, write every single thing. You have to write how much temperature you are setting up. You have to write the token limit. Okay, how much token limit will be there. Okay, so if I just show you here, let me show. Yeah, you have to pass the model name over here. Right. Eventually, you need to pass the. Okay, it's not given here. Let me go chat completions. Okay. Yeah. Now see here, guys. We'll see here the proper model names are passed. What kind of message you have to pass? Okay. A role is a developer role. And what is the kind of, let's say, content you are expecting from it? So all these messages are also very important. Like, we'll also try to write multiple messages now. Okay. So like this, every single thing, okay, you talk about the basics of the thing, every single thing has to be added over here. Okay. Now inside this first, completion, I'll show you there now. You need to pass a lot of different things. What is token size, right? How many tokens you have to take? उसके बाद let's say you will also see something like temperature over here. So temperature, as I told you yesterday, right? Temperature is something, if you set it very close to 1, so then it will try to give you very extra creative responses. Okay, and at the same time, when you try to use the very simple ones, let's say 0.2, usually we try to keep it 0 only, right? I mean, by default that's 0 only, because GPT is smart enough, you don't explicitly need to tell him to create more creative things. Whatever it is creating is already creative. But yeah, by chance, let's suppose now you are trying to create some kind of innovations, or want to teach students for let's say something in very innovative way. So yeah, for that particular time, you might think of adding this particular temperature very close to 1 also, right? So that is totally fine. See here, guys, temperature is set to 1, but this is like too much. You don't need to do that. Okay, just keep it simple, like either 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 maximum, and extremely 0.7, not more than that. I don't recommend that, because more the creativity, it will take no more and more number of tokens, and we can't afford to lose more number of tokens. Okay, so now I hope that is a bit clear to everyone. Now what I'll do now, let's suppose, guys, we'll just try to write a very simple code over here. Now imagine it, suppose you already have stored this particular thing. So what I'll do, first of all, we'll import something called as OS. So imagine OS is just like a model called as operating system. Like OS model, just like you can actually interact with different files using OS. Okay, so then what I'll do, first of all, from .env .env. Oh, why what happened here? Fine, right? Okay, from .env. Yeah, sorry, input load in. I don't know what happened. Let me just check. I think there is no, okay, it's not there. See, guys, now I was just about to come there, but I wanted to show you how you can directly install these particular things. Let's suppose now I'll show you now. Wait here. So from you will understand like what exactly I'm trying to see here. From OpenAI input, let's say OpenAI. Okay, so whatever things I have written there, I have just written it here. Now you'll see that, guys, see, it is not able to resolve this particular thing that is written over here. Why? Because till now we have not installed this particular, let's say packages inside our system. We have not installed these packages inside our system. So for that, now guys, if you go to any kind of code, right, you will see that every single code, go anywhere, not only one, go any code, you will see that there is a something called as requirement.txt file is always created. Okay, you will always see a requirement.txt file created. Now let me show you here. It's too many things at one place. No, that's why happening. Yeah, see here, guys. See if I show you now. See here, requirement.txt. Now inside, so as I told you, right, let's say env folder, right? So inside this requirement.txt, you will have all those particular packages with their reference. I mean, so what kind of, let's say, function you are using, or let's say what kind of model you are using for that. So in this particular project that we have implemented, we are using OpenAI ka 1.75, in Pydantic setting ka 2.09 or 2.9, .env ka 1.1, Pydantic ka 2.6. So automatically, now see, automatically it will create it. So therefore, I don't want it to hard code it, just wanted to show you how exactly it is done. Now see here. So how exactly automatically it is done? So first of all, whatever folder that you require, right? Let's say you keep on installing, okay? And at the end, you will try to create it. So let's suppose now, this is the folder that I have. Yeah, okay, this is that. Now what I'll do, see, first of all, I will install, let's say something called as pip install.env. Now see here, guys, see, it is being installed. Now see, guys, this is gone now. Model is coming now. See here. Pip install OpenAI. See, guys, collected everything, downloaded. See here, guys. Now it's been downloaded. See, it's gone. Okay, means as soon as you download it, see, if you want to use anything, let's say you want to use a WhatsApp, you need to download that in your system, right? So eventually, if you want to use this OpenAI key inside your system, you need to download it, right? So this load env will try to help and load this particular env in here. Let's suppose now if I just have to initialize it. So load env. Now here, if I write this one, now load env is installed inside my function, inside this particular folder. Now what I'll do, let's say I'll take a API key from here. So this API key will be, let's say, os dot get env. Get env is a function. And inside this, now what we have, whatever name I have given over here, right? Let's say this is a name, right? So just copy this name and paste it over here. Now, guys, my open API key. Now see, guys, without hard coding, right? Let's say I have not taken my actual API and posted it over here, right? What I did, I stored that somewhere else, and from there I tried to load that particular API key inside my environment. Okay, that is how exactly we try to do it. Now, eventually, now let's say that is done. Now let's try to create a simple client. Let's say, as it is created, client equal to OpenAI. That is how exactly it was created, right? I have shown you. Now, see, guys, inside the OpenAI, you can literally pass all these different parameters, all these parameters. But as of now, we don't know, don't need anything. So I'll just simply pass the API key, and API key will be equal to whatever is the name here I have written. And that's it, guys. Now my API key is now with me. Now what I'll do, let's suppose I've created a client. Now what I'll do, I'll try to create a response of completion. I'll just create a response now. What I'll do, let's suppose response equals to, okay, client. See, guys, I am not doing anything. Okay, means whatever things are into the actual environment. Let me show you again. Okay, I'm simply copying this up. Okay, that's it. Just copy this chat completion API, copy this and just paste it there. So as I told you right yesterday, you will get every single thing from the official documentation. The simple codes that you want to implement, you will get it from the official documentation. Okay, so and it's always good, you just try to write it, because now you don't have idea about it, like how to write. So I'm just giving you a simple way to do it. That's it. Is my screen visible? Wait, I think not. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll create a client. Now inside this client, what I'll do, dot chat. Now like this, see, now I want to create a chat API. Like this, now you have different things, okay? Only chat is not there. There are multiple things. If you explore it, you will get it. So for now, our main target is to create the chat, the prompts. So therefore, we'll go with this one. So dot completions, okay? And inside this, now you will try to give all the different names. Let's suppose model equal to, let's say I want to use GPT-4 model, right? Let's say GPT-4. You have to give a proper name, right? Do not forget, okay, name has to be very proper. Okay, then comma. And now here, guys, I will try to pass the messages that we have given. See here, messages. Now this messages will try to add every single thing. So what are the messages you want to add? Now let's suppose you have a proper role over here. So let's say, what is the role that you want to do? So before even going into the role, no, let's say how exactly we'll write it. See here, first of all, we'll create a dictionary over here. Dictionary. Inside this, first of all, write in a key role. Okay, role. And as a key, you will, as a user, let's say user is the role, and as of now, right, user is gonna write it. And after that, let's say content, the exact same thing I've shown you, right? Exactly same thing is there. Nothing very changed, nothing very simple, very simple and straightforward. And let's suppose now whatever you want to add, let's suppose now I want to add him. Okay, let's say write the story about, let's say, Gen AI example. Let's suppose I'm trying to ask this particular thing. And guys, as soon as this is done, simply write print the response. Print, let's say, response. Now inside this, I'll tell you. Now see, there is something called a choices over here. Choices. Now, when I write the choices, right? So this response will try to give you the multiple choices. Okay, this also you can take, this also you can take, this also you can take. But what I do, I only want to take the first one as of now. I don't want to go any deep. So first one I'll take dot message. Okay, dot message and dot content. And guys, see, let's see if it work or not. Not always, as a developer, you always have to go through the simples, like you can get the error. Sometimes it will run fine. So it's very normal. But we have written it from scratch. It should run properly. Okay, now let's see what I'll do now to run it. Simply Python 3 that I have, sample and zip the tab. Okay, sample test.3 and run it, guys. Okay, load env, yes. Cannot import the name load en. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Completion object is not callable. Why it is not callable? Completions object is not callable. Why? Oh, I think this name got wrong. Just wait. Sorry. Okay. Now I think it should work fine. Right? Yeah. Let's say I'll not need a response now. Okay, I'll just simply completion of choices. Okay, now see here, guys. So what I did now, let's suppose content, you are a helpful assistant. Let's say content equal to, let's say write a story about Gen AI. Okay, now see here. Now what we did now, see, in that particular code, I have only defined one single role, that is only user. But what I told you yesterday, guys, there are both the roles are very, very important. You have to set the, let's say system role also, and you have to set the user role also. Okay, now you can say role is your role is developer, and let's say you are a very, very helpful assistant. And here you can add, okay, you are a, let's say expert in Gen AI, and okay, now you are a helpful assistant to explain about Gen AI. You can write any such kind of thing. Okay. So I think now that should be fine. Let's see what error comes now, but it should be fine now. And see, and it's very normal, right? In our daily life cycle, getting these errors continuously, Yeah, okay. So now here you can see, right? See here, guys. We'll see that here. Gen AI wasn't a robot that was talking about a person. Instead, it's a computer that has been lived over here. So like this, you'll see, guys, now I have got the very, very perfect response from it. Right? So in simple terms, what, guys, now this is a simple prompt. Okay, this is a simple prompt. Now this is like no advanced prompt, nothing, just like a very basic prompt that we have written. Only one single role and one single prompt, that's it. Okay, that is a sample that we have just tested. Okay, this is how exactly it creates. Now if you want to store it, what you can do, let's say instead of printing message here, you can try to store it into txt file. Just add some piece of code and you can store that particular things. Okay, guys, so I hope let's say now it is making sense, right? Like how things are actually working. Okay, fine. First of all, these basics are clear, everyone? Any issues till here? Yeah, you can just explore, what different models are there. We are using 4.1, you can use it anything. Okay, it's fine. Okay, everyone, fine. Everyone with me? Hello? Yes. Fine, no issues. Now see, guys, usually, let's say, yeah, inside this, you can set the temperature, you can set the max tokens, every single thing. Let's suppose if I add here now, let's say temperature. Okay, temperature, let's suppose I'll set it to, let's say 0.3. Okay, 0.3. Okay, now let's suppose if let's say max tokens. Now what exactly is max token means? What? Okay, maximum generate 300 tokens per message, not more than that. Because see, every time you are generating the token, the cost is associated with that. So always make sure, in one single response, how many maximum tokens can be generated. Okay, so according to your use case, you can set it. Let's suppose if you are trying to create a very big summary or something, try to set it to, let's say, little bit higher value. But if I just try to test it and use it, how it works, just go for the simple ones only. Okay, let's say now this is a save file, and let's suppose now if I again run it, it will just work in exactly same. Right, guys? So these are the few things, that we have to always set into any kind of system. Or whenever you try to write any kind of code, we always have to set kind of, these kind of things in your system. Now, this is where, as I told you, right, this is where your settings file comes into play. This is where the settings.py comes into play, because we don't have to hard code these values like model, temperature, max tokens, right? I don't want to write it in this hard coded way. I want to store it somewhere. So let's try to understand now what is the use of this settings files and how to create that setting file. Okay, now see here. Now, before going anywhere, right, now understand here, see, whenever I try to create any kind of codes, okay, so in this particular way, in this setting, but any kind of setting file that I'm let's say trying to write, we have to manage this particular environment in a certain structure. Okay, you have to write this particular thing in a certain structure. So for that particular thing, how exactly we'll do is, to create this file, it's a setting file. First of all, you will need to install something called as pip install pydantic that settings. Means, I'll tell you why exactly it is required, previously, it's already there, it's fine. So previously, how it used to work, separately, you have to load this env every single time inside the setting files also, right? Now, whenever you're writing a setting file, you explicitly have to write that particular thing every time, load it there, and then you can, use it. But now with this pydantic setting, automatically, if you just implement this pydantic setting, automatically it will try to figure out, okay, where is the env file, and automatically it will try to take the whatever secret keys are there, you can directly take it there. Okay, so that's like a pretty handy now. Okay, so let me just show you now how exactly we create the setting files. A bit straightforward and simple. So what we'll do first of all, in our system, right? Let's create inside this one. Let me just create it now. Yeah. Now inside this config, right? Inside this config folder, yes, I will create a file called as settings.py. Settings.py. Okay, and that's it. Just run it here now. See here. What I did now, from pydantic settings, there is something called as module called as base settings. That I'll implement. I implemented a simple class settings, and inside this base settings I've imported. And from here now, guys, see what I did now. OpenAI key, that is a string. So automatically from my .env, automatically it will pick up and keep it here. Automatically it will take it. You don't need to hard code it. See, I have written, don't hard code it. Similarly, now I have kept the model name. Simply take the model name here, write it. Temperature, write it temperature here. How many maximum tokens you want? Let's say 300. And that's it, guys. Okay, and that's it. Your class config is created. You have loaded the env file, and every single thing is in place now. Okay, like this. Now I have created my setting files. Now, what's the use of that, guys? Now you don't explicitly need to write all these particular things over here. Neither you need to write an OpenAI key like this over here. So what you'll do very simply, see here. Instead of loading the env over here, instead of doing this over here, what I'll do from, see here now, sorry. I don't need to split it, it's fine. Okay, so see here. From, now which particular folder is there now? From config, see inside the config, dot, what is the file? Settings file. Setting is there, right? Import, we'll try to import whatever class that we have created, that is settings. And that's it, guys, settings. Okay, now what I can do, very easily now I can access this. Now see, settings dot, I'll remove this now. I don't need to write it here. So what I'll do now, if I want to pass a API key, I'll directly pass it here now. So settings dot, see here. Settings dot, if I write dot now, see here, guys. Whatever things are already with that particular settings, everything will get. Let's suppose API key is there. See here, OpenAI key. And that's it, guys. See now how organized it looks like. Neither you are, hard coding it. You just imported that particular file and now you put it here. Now you don't need to write a model like this over here. Simply remove this model now. Simply again write settings dot model name. Okay, check it here now. What is the name? Model name, right? Model name. Settings dot model name. See model. And that's it. Now you don't explicitly need to write, okay, 4.1 over here. So that do not look good in simple terms. We don't write that. So therefore, we just stored it over here. So you can say now model name is stored over here. Similarly, now I'll set a temperature over here. It's already set here. So I'll keep it to 0.3. I don't want more. Okay. So GPT 4.1 will use. Okay. Now see, guys. Now the biggest advantage of this kind of thing is, let's say now you only have one setting file. And now one setting file is there. So you can literally use this particular one setting file into thousands such different places now. Now imagine, means what exactly I'm trying to say now, imagine here. See here. Now let's say I have written a code, okay? So as I showed, first code that we have written where, we have written hard coded, temperature equal to this much, then model equal to this, that is a name that we have written, right? Now let's suppose now there is one single file. Let's say for us, means only at a sample file, I have to explicitly mention all these names over here, right? Now let's suppose you create intermediate level, again prompting. Again, you need to explain all these names and write it names over here. You create one more file, again you have to write all the names. You create one more file, again you have to write all the names. Sometimes what might happen, let's say instead of writing what exactly is required, you might write something different also. In simple terms, what, guys, you have to write this 1,000 different times unnecessarily, right? So in here now, what you did now, in the setting files, you stored all these values at one place. Okay, now you said, okay, now this is fixed. Now whatever you want to do it using taking the reference of this one now. Don't explicitly write your own model name. Don't explicitly say the temperature. Don't explicitly give any kind of, let's say token size. Whatever is written in our environment, use that particular thing only. Don't change it. Okay. So this is more like a structure for, that we create for the juniors, right? I mean, we have to keep this thing very fixed, right? According to the requirements. So that's why I told you guys. Okay, now let's suppose if you try to now use this particular folder anywhere, now go and use this particular thing anywhere, there is no problem, there is no problem. Very easily now you can write it anywhere. So now see, I did here. Similarly now, see, let me hide this floating. Now everything is set here. Now let's say, and temperature, again, settings dot temperature. Yes, and settings dot max tokens. And that's it, guys. See, this is how exactly sophisticatedly, let's say we have written this particular code very perfect. Now, in our, when we will start writing the actual code, right, you will see that we are not even giving the message over here. All these messages are stored completely different. They are into the complete different system itself. Okay, we don't try, write the message like this here, because see, it looks so odd, right? I mean, wherever you're writing the code, there only you're writing everything, all the hardcoded things. No, we'll try to keep them into some different place also. So that part will come next. Now let's suppose, guys, this is my simple, most basic prompt. Most basic prompt. Okay. Now if I save it, and let's say now if I clear it and let's say run it. What happened now? Settings not opening. Okay, why? Let me check. Oh, it should not happen. Why I did not mention it? Oh, sorry. Oh, this is not an issue, but actually, let me just check what happened. Okay, wait. Okay, we have taken the settings file and from the yeah, it's totally fine. I'm not sure why it's happening. Okay, just a second, okay, guys. Let me check what's happening. It's fine. I mean, having simple errors, no big deal. Okay. So what I'll do, yeah, let me just hard code it separately. I don't want to write it in the same folder. So what I'll do, yeah, I'll just copy it and paste it here. Okay, fine. And instead of this, I'll only pass API key. Yeah, sometimes simple errors just keep coming and no big deal. It's still open AI API key that we have written. Okay, in the settings, we imported it. Just a second, guys. There should not be an error. Just let me see why this is coming as. Okay, let's say we're saying, okay, it's an attribute error that we are getting. Okay. Is it saved file now? Do I have init file here? Okay, it's init there. Okay, everything is hard coded here properly, right? I don't see the problem here. Wait. And then finally, I'm just setting up the model here. Okay. I think there is some basic error over here. No, it's totally fine. Just some basic error that's popping up. Let me just resolve it, and I'll just come back. Okay. So I think seems like okay. It's OpenAI key is error. Okay. So we did not access the. I'm sorry. I think it's like. Did I initialize that properly? Did I initialize it? Oh my God. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. We have to do the small s here. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, we already initialized that class there, so therefore this happened. No issues. I thought we have not initialized. So usually we always try to initialize like this over here. So I just thought I have not done it. So therefore I directly use the class. So but that is not allowed. So therefore okay, it's fine. Okay. Now see here, guys. Now you will see that whatever prompt that we have given, right? So very perfectly you will see that you will get a very proper response over there. Okay, the same code we have done, we have not changed anything into the code, but in this particular way you are getting the response. And one more thing, it's very normal to have get a little bit time. Okay, I mean it will take a little bit of time, so there is no problem in that, because you are calling an API from here, then API is going to hit there, and from there I'm getting the response. So the whole process is like, a bit time taking. So it's very normal that you will, some kind of time it will always take. And yes. Yeah, it's very normal here. I mean, writing the codes from scratch, definitely some kind of simple things keeps on coming. Just a small S and capital S, but it's fine. Okay. So now this is how exactly, guys, we write the simplest of the prompt. Now this is like a simple prompt that we have written. Okay. In this now there is no difficulty. In this now there is, no, there is zero difficulty in this particular code now, right? Because we are just using it simply and just trying to add and show okay, how exactly the simple prompts actually work. Now, guys, let's move on and understand one by one how to create from basic to advanced. So that we already created from basic to advanced. So what I'll do now, first of all, I will create the basic ones, right? So let's say it's called as simple prompts. Now look at here, okay, how exactly we're creating it now. Now let's say I'll go into the basic, and in this basic, I'll create something called as a file called as simple. Sorry, not name should always be the small caps, okay? Simple prompts.py. Simple prompts.py. I see you got a new file over here. Now in the new, let's say this simple one, what I'll be doing, let's say we'll try to write few of the lines of code where we'll try to make it very simple. I'll not write, let's say very difficult things. Just like few lines of code we'll write, and step by step we'll see how to use them. Okay, now see here, guys. Sabse pehle, the most initial thing that we'll need to create is something called as base prompt engineer. Means what? I need to create the basic prompt structure for this particular code. As I said, I showed you that we have created a base file for it. So first of all, we will create the base structure over here. Again, guys, you don't need to create it. It's not mandatory. Okay, but it is just like, in according to me, or why exactly I'm telling you this, it's always better to understand how the codes are actually written rather than simply just showing you how to use a prompt, right? So in this particular way, we'll just try to write it. Second thing, you explicitly don't need to create any of such kind of folders, right? Now, if you just check into this, utils file, let me go into the utils file. Okay, so in the utils file, we explicitly have to create one different folder itself, or let's say I would say different file called as prompt engineer.py. Okay, just a simple file I have created. Let's say prompt engineer.py. Now, why exactly we created this, guys? Now see, here in this particular case, we will write the base prompt for everything. Means basic of everything will be written over here. Now let's suppose what I'll do. In this is already stored with me. So what I'll do, I'll just show you how I have written, and you can just read about it. Now see here. So what we did now, first of all, I'll need an OpenAI. From typing, there are a few things I have imported, and from settings, I have imported settings. Now, whenever I try to write this particular base prompt, right? So you always try to initialize, first of all, these are the things that I'll always require, as I've shown you, right? So client, OpenAI.key, model name, temperature, and max tokens. So this is like fixed one. Inside they need, these are the 5 things I require, so I'll keep it. Now, the first thing that we created is now generate the response using OpenAI. So first of all, what's the first step? Generate the response, right? Generate the response. Now for this, why exactly I have written over here? Again, in that also there is a logic. Now imagine, let's suppose you want to write some certain type of code somewhere. Okay, आपको कहीं ना कहीं a certain type of code लिखना है. So now let's suppose मैंने यहाँ पे I have written. So here also, where is that simple form? Oh yeah, where is my simple file? Yeah, see here, guys. Now what I did here now, guys, see, I had to write this particular code over here, piece of code over here, right? Now let's suppose next time if I go somewhere, again I have to write it over here, right? Means what? I have to use chat completion API, and I have to write all those particular things. Every single file, if I go, I have to write it separately. Okay, then what exactly we thought? Why not to just write it at one particular place and just use it in different places? And guys, this is what exactly this prompt engineer ka base is. There's like a base prompt engineer. So what it is doing now, it is creating the base for now all the different types of prompts. So what it is saying, okay, one basic idea is what? If you try to write any kind of prompt, you go to any different types of prompt. You go write advanced prompts, you write COT, you write React based prompts, you write any type of prompts. These things you have to write it. Everywhere you have to write all these particular things. So what exactly it said, okay, why not to just write the complete code at one single place, and those particular files will just be using this particular code one by one like this. And this is where, this is where actually the structure or the real, you can say, no, the knowledge about any coder comes into play. So here you are now trying to write this particular code in a way where we are exactly trying. Now see, again, I'm telling you why exactly we're trying to do this. To save that, to save your time, to save your money, and to save everything. Because understand, writing a even small piece of code, there is some kind of memory associated with it. So we always make sure that whatever kind of codes we write, we are writing that very optimized way. Okay, neither like, see, getting the answer is the last thing. Okay, getting the answer is not a difficult thing. Maybe I can get the answer. Maybe I don't even need to write all these things. I can get the answer writing, let's say, 3 lines of code. But no, it's not how exactly it works. We have to go step by step. We have to go step by step only, because understand, this particular code will be running in the production. Means what? When you are using a certain type of applications, these codes have to be maintained very properly. If you simply write the loops and function, it will break. Let's suppose today there are 50 users for your application. It is working fine. But what if now you get, let's say, 1000 people to use it? It's gonna break. What if you will get 1 lakh people? It is gonna break, right? So who's handling that? How you are making sure it's not being breaking or not? All these kind of structures. The better the structure you will have for your project, better will be your understanding. So implementing is fine up to certain limit. Yeah, it's fine. Maybe if you just try to whatever code I have shown you, okay, this one. If you write this one only, no, it is also totally fine. This one is 100% fine. It will work fine. Just instead of writing one single message, now you can just write 4 different messages over here. Just write step by step. Okay, write different steps over here. Okay, that is chain of thought. You are writing different step by step. But that is now not how exactly it works. So therefore, I always tell everyone, it's always better to have a certain structure and follow that particular structure. Okay, now let's get back here. So what we did now, here we created a generate response one function. What is doing now generate response? It is generating the response using OpenAI. So for that, what we are doing now, we have defined the role now there. And every time you don't need to define a role now. Okay, I have data role system and content equal to system message. Now this will be custom message. Now whatever message I will give now, that will be given over there. Similarly, role is user, but 2 things are fixed. What? One will be system message that yesterday only I told you. There are 2 types of prompts. System prompt is fixed that we have to give, and role prompt is fixed. Means names are 2 only. Now in that you can give anything here also and here also. That's fine. And then what you are doing now, we are using exact same thing. We are using exact same thing, right? See here. This is the exact same thing that we have used to get the response over here, right? See here. See, exact same thing we have used till here. Everyone clear? So, but what we did, let's say what we thought, why to write this particular code again and again? Let's try to create a function out of it and let's store it into this basic prompt. That's what we did. Created a function and store it over here. That's it. And finally, I'm just handling the errors. That's fine. Finally, what I'm doing, I'm analyzing the response. Like how many length is there? How many word count is there? How many hash codes are there? How many hash? Oh, that's fine. I mean, it's okay. So like this, I've created a base prompt here. Now, while creating the simple prompt over here, so what I'll be doing now, I won't be directly writing anything. So first of all, now see here how it's working now. So first of all, I will try to import from, sorry. See here, from utils, see here, dot prompt engineer, see here, prompt import. We'll try to import this, whatever base prompt engineer that we have created over there. Base prompt engineer. Base prompt engineer. Okay, and now this base prompt engineer I will be using into my this current environment that we have created. Wait, say. Okay, yes. Okay, guys, now that is done. Now what we'll do, let's try to write it. So I already have a code in place, so I won't be writing it from scratch. I'll just show you how exactly it's work. Okay, so what I'll do now, let's say now I have written this complete code over here. Now see guys, what I did now, simply I've taken it and now I have created simple prompt engineering, simple prompt. Now this is the first step, right? A prompt with clear instructions here. What is the prompt I have written? Basic prompt, a prompt with clear instructions. So what is the prompt now? Please explain the particular concept and that is the topic. Now in below we have given the topic. You can give any topic here now in simple terms. And what are the things you have to include? A clear definition of it, a clear practical example of it, and the common use cases that are related to this particular topic that you have given. And simply guys, self.generate the response. Self.generate the response. Now, did I write anything extra over here? Chat completion API or something like that? No. Now this is already written over here. See here. Now I have already used this particular code over here. Now explicitly, I don't need to again come and write it over here. What I did now, I simply used this generate response from this particular base prompt engineer, and that's it. That's the only thing I used. So I've imported this class over here, right? So whatever properties are related to this particular class, whatever functions are there, all the functions you can use over here. All the functions you can use over here. So I have written it over here. Simply now role based prompt. Now you already given a role. Now see here, self, role, and string. So now what is the role based prompting now? See, you have given your base prompt here. Now you need to define a role, right? So you can see that a system message. You are a expert in this particular role, so you can give any kind of role that I will show you. Here we have taken proper examples here. Example is taken over here, so don't worry, we'll see it. Okay. So what prompt I have given? You are the expert in this particular role with this years of experience. Now, as a role, please help me with the following task. And what is the task now? The task is set over here. See guys. Now I have written every single thing task over here. See. Step by step prompt I have written over here. So what I need to do now? Let's try to solve this particular problem. The problem you can mention directly over here. Step by step prompt. So break down all this particular, break down the problem into smaller parts. Solve each particular part sequentially. Combine the solution together and verify the final answer. And guys, that's it. So in this particular way, I have written my simple prompt with the proper clear instructions. Did I need to write any kind of such things? See, now once I have used it here, I already written this API over here like this. I already written this particular message over here. I already written analyze response over here. So now I don't need to explicitly set the temperature every time. I don't need to write okay response equal to client chat completion dot API something like this every time. So every time you don't write it. Once you written it, now you just need to use it. That's it. Now system is in place. Now just use it now slowly. And I always remember, okay, even if you're a teacher, if you're even trying to teach them, even if you are trying to, maybe present it somewhere, always try to show the actual real world things. That is how exactly I believe in, because there is no point in showing, okay, yeah, what exactly the simple thing, you can just write this on a Google Colab. Okay, up to certain limit, it's fine on Google Colab. You can show simple examples. But after that, what? This is what exactly we do in real life. This is what exactly we expect in the real life. This is how exactly we write it in the industries. So then why to teach them something that is not required in simple terms? So it might take a little bit time to understand even for you, but take the habit of it, have the habit of it. Even the smallest of the project you are creating, expect the proper format from everyone. Have the proper format for everything. Okay. Now see here guys. Now I have written everything. And finally now I'm just trying to use it now. How exactly I'll do? So engineer, simple prompt engineer. I have created a vector and now I'll try to give the simple prompt. So let's suppose now basic prompt. Now see engineer dot basic prompt. In the basic prompt now what I have to give? In the basic prompt, what I have to give now? I have to mention the topic over here. Okay, so I have mentioned the topic. Let's suppose I have mentioned a topic called, let's say, prompt engineering. Let's say techniques. This is my topic. Okay, now test this particular prompt. So in the test, what now I'll go this particular prompt, second one, role based prompt. Okay, basic is now role based one. Now here they are asking about basic prompt is done. Now what is the role that you are being given over here? Now see, in the role based prompt, you can see that I have to give two different roles. I have to give the role of system message and I have to give the role of this particular user. So two different roles I have to mention. So here I have given Python developer role and the message is how to optimize a particular for loop. Example, how to optimize a particular, let's say how to optimize, how to optimize a prompt in prompt engineering. Example. Okay, and finally let's try to test this particular thing. So let's suppose step by step now we are trying to test it. So step by step prompt. So what I'm doing now, first of all, try to solve this problem and then try to get the answer from it. So what I'm saying, how to implement a binary search algorithm. Or we can just say how to implement a chat completion API. And that's it guys, and that's it, just save it. Okay, and now guys, if I just run it now, see here, now how exactly I will run it now? It is written into simple prompt. So where is my simple prompt? So first of all, Python 3. Okay, see here, I directly cannot do simple, let's say simple underscore prompts dot py like this. It will show, okay, there is no such file. Why? Because now if I do ls, you will see that there is a folder called as basic, right? Now if I do, let's say cd basic, okay, and inside this now you will see that now there is a file over here. So directly I cannot write it. Okay, so therefore how exactly we do it? See here now, simply Python 3 basics, enter, sorry, tab, and simply simple prompt.py, and that's it guys. Just run it. No module name util. So I think init file is not mentioned. Wait. So I think I need to initialize that first. Wait, guys. Okay. This very basic errors, man. Not initialize it properly. Just a second. Okay. Okay, now just see, just do one thing. Just look at this one now. Okay, let's say I'll just share something else. It'll just take a lot of time to again now set it up. So it's already set up at one place. So let's try to see it now. Okay, so I hope everyone can see this. So okay, now what we are doing now is say we have all this from source setup over here. So simply Python. I have basic. Okay, in which folder it is now? Let me check. Okay, basic to advanced prompt engineering, right? Basic to advanced prompt engineering. Oh my god. Okay, in that I have basic to advanced prompt. Okay, settings here. Okay, in that advanced there is a utils. Okay, so in that I have. Oh, just a second, guys. Okay, in the simple simple prompts, right? In the basics. So in that again I need to go basic to advanced. Okay, yes, Python. Okay, that's a CD. Basic. Oh, is it the name? Prompt engineering tutorial. Okay, in that I have. Just a second, guys. Okay, let me just check it where it is. So confusing here. Expecting this one. Basic to advanced. Okay, fine. Basic to advanced. Inside that, you again. Oh, yeah, fine now. Basics. Oh, my screen is not visible to you all?
It is visible, sir.
Yeah, I think it's visible, right?
Yeah, it is visible.
Yeah. Python. Basic. Now, see here, guys. Oh, sorry. Now, see here, guys. See here. Now, step by step, we will see that the way we have applied. See here, guys. First of all, every single thing. So what I told you, first of all, okay, now here the instructions are different. So here we have mentioned the same topics. What I'll do, I'll just give you the different example itself, right? So let me just clear it. Now, see here, what I'll do, as we have mentioned clearly, right? Let's say I'll need a topic like, I'll give a topic name, let's say, and prompt engineering, that is what we are doing. So prompt engineering. Okay. Okay, fine. I think spelling is fine. Okay, let's say a role is, let's suppose, on GenAI developer. Okay, and let's say how to optimize the prompts for how to optimize the prompts. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and here let's say how to implement, and let's say for the testing part, what we did, how to implement, let's say how to implement a chat completion API. And that's it, guys. Okay, now let's suppose now if I run it here, See, Python 3 basic simple prompts. Let's enter it. Now see here, guys. One by one we'll get it. See here, first of all, basic example is there about prompt engineering. So it will go in this particular step. Sabse pehle, it will try to see, okay, clear definition, practical example, and common use. You will see here now. Very explicitly, see here, guys. Practical example. Can you see this first now? See, definition, basic prompt. What is the first one now, guys? As I told you, first is definition. Okay, a clear definition. You can see, right? A prompt engineering refers to the process of designing and optimizing the prompts to effectively communicate with an AI model system. Primitively used in the natural language processing, it involves creating specific instructions or a particular guide for the AI tool. Simply. Second thing, what I told you now, see here, practical example. See, let's take a practical example. See, let's say you are using an AI chatbot that you want to know whether the forecast, let's say weather forecast. A simple prompt might be what, let's say, what's the, okay, I can't see what's in it. Okay, what's the weather currently, right? So, however, this might not yield the precise results as the AI may not know the location of the specific location, time. So instead of that, a prompt engineering involves refining this particular question for better responses, such as what is the weather forecast for New York City for the next 24 hours? Now imagine, I see. So whatever prompt you are writing, exactly similar we are getting the answer. See, common use cases. See here, common use cases. Got all the results, common use cases? Yes. Now see here. In the virtual, you can just read about it. Okay. Now see, second thing was what? Role-based prompts. See here now. Second, role-based prompts. So what is the first thing that we asked over here? You are an expert into this particular role, and please help me to do a following task. So you can see that, okay, so I have written what task I have given to him, optimizing the prompts. That is the task that is being given. You can see optimizing prompts for a language model like GPT-3 or Gen involves various techniques to ensure an architecture. So if you now see here, what you are clearly, you have clearly mentioned it here. What you have mentioned? Specify the outputs. This here, explicit instructions are there, specifying the output is there, and then iterative prompts are. Let's say every single thing it is trying to give you the way you have asked it, length of the prompt it is taking, how much iterative, different types that we asked, right? Every single thing is given. Okay. Now finally, a step-by-step example of the last one. See here, this one, step-by-step example. So here you will see that break down the problem into smaller chunks. Break down in the problem into smaller chunks. Yes. Finally, understand the requirements here. Understand the requirements of AI chat completion. For that, whatever I've asked him, right? I've asked him to how to implement the chatbot implementation API. So here now it is very clearly giving me the answers. Step by step. Design the API first, implement the suggested algorithm, set up the server, test the API, and deploy the API. Okay. And finally, now it is just time to solve it over. So guys, this is how exactly the simple prompting works. Now in which what we did now, guys, nothing, just like a piece of code where we are just trying to add a certain type of instructions over here. Certain type of instructions have been added. Now, exactly in similar way, now if you just look at these intermediate prompts, okay. Okay, now see here, in the advanced prompts, you can see that exactly in similar way, you can see there are multiple things written over here. Okay, now see, let me just. Guys, am I audible to everyone? Okay, fine. Sorry. Okay, see here. Now we have in the advanced prompt engineering that I told you, right? So we talked about few short prompting. Now architecture is same, structure is same, everything is same. Only the steps will change now. Few short prompting means what? With some examples. As we did it over there in the simple prompts, we just wrote the names as examples. Just we have given the simple instructions. We have not given any kind of examples over there. But here you can see that now here we are properly giving the examples here. See, nothing very different. Few short prompting, every single thing is same. And this is how exactly you apply the chain of thoughts. You're like, okay, let's think about a problem carefully. First, let's understand what you're trying to solve. Then let's break it down into logical steps. Then we will explain our reasoning one by one. And finally, combine all the thoughts and reach to a conclusion. So guys, this is called as step-by-step prompting. It's called as step-by-step prompting. Like step-by-step, you are trying to solve every single problem. Similarly, now self-consistency prompt. In the same thing only, like multiple reason paths that are there. So for each particular step, explain the reasoning, show the solution, and discuss the pros and cons. So guys, this is like a simple basic advanced level prompt. Okay. So guys, this is how exactly the complete prompt engineering thing actually works. Okay. Similarly, now you can always have the advanced prompts, expert prompts are there, right? Like multiple thoughts that you try to combine together. Okay, you can go in any of the depth, but I think you won't require it as far as yeah, as long as you are not implementing any high level project, I would say, till that time you don't need a very high level tree of thoughts over here, right? But all again, I have already shared it with you. You can definitely check on it. You can see okay how these things are implemented, and you can always try to these things will be definitely given to you. So step by step you will always see like how to exactly rate these particular things. Now you can just try to make your own changes into it, try to see okay how exactly answers you are getting. So all the things depends on how you are getting the answers. Let's suppose you got an answer, right? And you are not satisfied with that. You thought, okay, this is not what exactly I expected. I wanted better. Okay. So then again we need to optimize this particular.
आपको भी तो काम मिला था, आपने कहा हो गया कंप्लीट.
Sir, sorry, please unmute yourself. Yeah, you're. So there was some disturbance, so I have muted everyone. You can talk right now, sir.
Okay. Okay, now guys. Okay. So now let's suppose now a tree of thoughts. Let's say the most advanced technique of prompt engineering. So what we did now, let's say a clear thought. Let's explore this particular problem using a tree of thought approach. Now we will explore the depth of this particular problem. For every single thing, start with a different initial assumption. Okay. Then follow the logical consequences. Consider the alternate perspectives. Means what? If you want to solve a certain thing, we are not dependent on one single perspective, or we are not dependent on one single logic. We are trying to add multiple things together now. Here now we are trying to add high level, let's say precision inside it. As in the simple prompts what we did, or as into normal prompts what we did. Okay, this is the work that you have to do. Okay, take this example and this is how you have to do it. That's it. Okay, but here now we are expecting more number of things. Here we are expecting it to think in different way. Here we are expecting it to write the different alternatives for it. Then try to evaluate every single thing. What are the strengths of it, weaknesses of it, assumptions of it. Okay, and finally try to generate the response over here. Don't directly generate it. Okay. Similarly, now we have a reflection prompt. So like this, we try to write multiple functions over here. Reflection prompt. What will do? What reflecting the prompt with a self-critic. Reflecting the prompt with a self-critic. Now it's just like whatever number of prompts that you will be getting, right? So it will just provide you the more improved version of that particular addresses, multiple things. Right? So in this particular way, we will try to write the multiple prompts in more structured way. Now let's suppose now example we have taken, let's say, how can I improve the education system in AI? How can we improve education using AI? So now what is the task now? Initial response is what? AI can help education by providing personalized learning exercises. What are the critical points that we can mention? Consider implementing challenges, address the ethical concerns, and issue the specific examples. Because we need to think in every single way, right? You cannot simply get up and create any kind of thing. You need to think about all those kind of things that are written over here. And finally, then try to print it. Now, let's see if we are able to run it. No, let me just write it. Let's suppose now Python 3 advanced and expert prompts. Now see here, guys. Now one by one, all the things will be implemented now. See, tree of thought is there. It will start from this particular stage, from here, from here, from here. Now see here, guys. First of all, it is now taking, okay, AI can personalize it. Now see, now it will try to give you the very systematic answer for this whole thing that you have written. So initial assumption is what? That's what you said, right? Okay, you have to make some initial assumption first. See here, start with a different assumption. Whatever I'm saying, apart from that, take some assumption. So let's say, initial students learn in a different ways at a different pace. Personalized learning can improve education outcomes. What are the logical consequences? AI can analyze the student performance to tailor the educational content and the pace. So this can lead to an improvement, understanding, engagement, and retention. Right? So in such kind of way, guys, you can see the complete system, whatever answer you are expecting in whatever way that you have given, completely it is implemented over here. Completely it is implemented over here. Okay, it's like API is hitting. You are getting the answers. Your API is hitting. That work is continuously going on. Okay. So guys, this is how exactly the different types of prompts actually work. Okay, these are exactly different types of prompts actually work. So guys, for this particular part, what I'll do, let's say all the things are covered over here. Nothing is left now. I think this particular part, yeah, basic to advanced one is there. Okay, there is one more basic to advanced. Okay, fine. Yeah, okay, in this it is there. Okay, fine. Now in this, you only have scripting files, prompt engineering. Okay, fine. Okay, so what I'll do, guys, I'll push this complete code to my GitHub. Okay, I'll share, and you can find that link over there only. Yesterday, the implementation was not done, so therefore I did not push it. So I just thought today I'll explain it and then I'll push it. So I'll push this complete code to a GitHub. You can go and see it. Along with that, the way we have created it, right? Yes, that's what I'm addressing, the same thing. The way we have created the files, how to create the files using command prompts, how to write different structures for it, how to create the touch, how to touch the files, how to create different files using command prompt, all the different things systematically I will write it and share it there, right? Also the management I'll share and you can get it from there also. Okay, guys, so everyone, how was the session, guys? Everyone understood this? Any issues to anyone or any thoughts on it? Yes, everyone? Yeah, you can always share your thoughts there. I mean, it's always good. Session was, sir, I believe session is of prompt writing, but it is programming. See, we have to write the programs only. When you say prompt engineering, it doesn't mean that explicitly you have to let's say write it. Oh yeah. Now see, whatever writing that we did, see, we wrote the examples, like we wrote the prompts very properly, step by step. We have broken down all the different problems and we did it. So like this only, what you can do, let's say in similar way, you can always try to write the same thing to a ChatGPT directly. If you don't want to write the codes, right? So whatever things that we have written over there, okay, this is the step. So now see, you understood simple prompting, you understood chain of thought prompting, you understood high level promptings, you understood React based things, you understood every single thing. Okay, now what you need to do, even if you don't want to write the code, no problem. But the kind of problem you have, let's say what kind of problem you want to solve. So according to that, then try to ask to a GPT. So while writing in the chat GPT application, try to write in this particular format. Okay, it is just like what we are doing. Instead of directly writing all these prompts into a chat GPT application, we are writing it in our own system. That's it, nothing else. Okay, just there are certain things that we have to follow, so therefore we are writing it here. Okay, now makes sense. Sir, I believe from okay, yeah, actually quite in-depth session, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. Attendance, feedback, direct, sir, LinkedIn. Yesterday, sir, I have shared it, no? Could you share, could we learn some implementation of the tools on education using AI? We are not from computer science background, it is more professional way. Exactly, thank you. Sure. So what we'll be doing, let's say, could we please learn some implementation of the tools of education using AI? So now see, the thing is, when you talk about the tools using education AI, right? So as of now, there are few, okay, but it's like not very reliable. There would be few, but they'll again ask you to pay certain amount of things, right? But I think GPT is like the best you can go for. I mean, you can always try to ask. And one more thing I told about cloud, right? So cloud is again a very good example where very perfectly you can get a detailed description about every single thing, and that is also like a very plus point you have. So try to see that also. Write the names of. Okay, fine. Wait, I'll not write down the names. Yeah. Sir, yes, Khan, yes, sir, Khan, sir, right? Sure, sir, sure. I'll make sure, sir. Okay. Yeah, this is it. YouTube shows all the ads regarding this prompt engineer. Sir, it is, sir, is it every prompt engineer writing so small? Yeah. See, scripts are now see now if I talk about a little bit advanced level, right? Definitely we write much more prompts than this. But when you explicitly talk about, let's say, prompt engineering, right? So then these are this small only. You don't need to write anything extra. Understand, when I say a project, right? When I talk about a project, any kind of, let's say, an enterprise level project. So the whole project consists of the 100% that is there, no? This all AI just like a 5 to 10% part of it. Okay, there are like thousands of different things we need to take care about. Writing all these, different, we call it as, production level environments. There's only not Python. We need to see how to write, how to handle the databases. Then we need to check about how to handle the, servers. Then we need to check about how to handle this, what kind of databases to use, what kind of data is there, where to store that particular data. Means this whole AI part, whatever we are learning, data science, AI, it is just like a small part of it. Let's suppose there is a certain application, let's say Amazon is there. So they have a chatbot, let's say Siri is there. So what? Siri, do we mean, sorry, Alexa is there, right? So do you mean that Alexa is like a whole Amazon? Definitely not, a small part of it, small implement, small board of it. You will see, inside any of the applications, you will see as chatbots are there. Okay. So is this chatbot a whole application? No, it's just like a small part of this particular process. Okay. So yeah, I mean, whatever I have told you, right? So on a small scale, that is maximum that we write. We don't go beyond this. That's the only small script that you have to write. So once you understand, how to write that, then it becomes easy to, grasp all the things. Ma'am, can you elaborate a bit? I mean, when you say what kind of tools, so what exactly you mean by tools? Like, I'm not able to understand. So when you say that, sir, any codes, simple way for us, maybe administration task where it can easily help us, example, creating a result analysis, a dashboard for that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, ma'am. What I'll do, let's say I will also provide a simpler version of this kind of chats. Okay. Let's say, what we can do is, let's say in one single file, I'll create one more file. So in that particular file, instead of writing all these different structures, I'll just create one simple structure. Okay. Just copy it, just paste it in your system and it will run. Okay. Now you can, for there, then you can use any Google Colab also, it's fine. Sure. And if you can elaborate a bit, like, could you learn some implementation of the tools on using AI? Like education using AI. Yeah, sure. You can ping me. Okay. I'll see, man. I'm not exactly not able. YouTube shows all the ads regarding this prompt engineering. See, first of all, I always try to keep everyone in like a real faith. Like, prompt engineering is not the only role that someone will hire for. Now, it's not up to for you, but even for the students, prompt engineering just like a part of generative AI. Okay, so you should have the understanding about the whole generative AI, and then maybe you should along with that, the prompt engineering comes in built only. Okay, now this is not the only way to write the prompts. Now inside this, we need to think about how you can integrate some kind of LangChain into it. Means what? Whatever prompts you're writing, how to optimize those prompts. Like it's not like, if you write prompt one time and you are getting exact answers. So it's not like that. So you have to keep on changing it. You have to see, how it is working. So every time it will just have the different types of implementations. Sir, I have shared it. No, just check it here. Yeah, see here. I need to pin it. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So, guys, any doubts more? Still have 5 minutes. If any doubts are there. Tomorrow it will be something called as just another thing and extremely important, right? I mean, ma'am, when you say few of them have asked, right, regarding how can we, use it for education, or let's say when you want to create some kind of dashboards, using it. So tomorrow I'll tell you in more details. Let's say, you can also try to see key. Let's suppose you have 1,000 different files with you, or let's say text file with you, or PDFs with you, anything. So how can you extract this complete PDF, store it in one place, and very easily try to talk with those PDFs? Means you don't explain to go to every PDF. Just okay, store the data of PDFs over here, and simply ask, okay, tell me where exactly student, let's say third year students marks are stored. Okay, it's a simple example. Or let's say there is one PDF where there is a case paper. Okay, so what you can say, okay, can you please elaborate this case paper to me, like another form. So that is called as a rack based architectures, retrieval augmented generation. Okay, so we'll try to understand about that. Just like understand this like an advanced level prompt, simple terms. Yes, any issues, anyone? If anything is there, feel free to let me know. You can always write your messages over here. Sir, my college is using AI models to generate the semester question paper. Please share good tips to learn for my semester exam. Sir, my college. Okay, you are using an AI model to generate the semester questions. Okay. Okay, so like what AI models you are using? Komal, I think. Yeah? Oh, they are saying it's confidential. Okay, okay, fine. No issues. No, they might be hitting the same API only. Nothing confidential in that. There are certain amount of models that are there. That's it. There are like different ways to create the models. Either you can create a custom model, try to incorporate your own knowledge into that, and then ask ChatGPT to use your knowledge and combine both the knowledges so that you will get better results. So that is what they're doing. So yes. So how exactly you want me to help you? Like, I mean, sir, my college is using an AI model to generate semester question papers. Please share good tips to learn for my semester exams. Okay, okay. See, what you can do is, instead of relying too much on, I would say, AI part, I mean, understanding the core things are always, better. Try to use the, I told you, right? Try to use this Cloud A as an API instead of using, I hope my screen is visible, right? Okay, try to use DeepSeek. So for examinations and all, this is very good. Nice. If you want to store and create the all notes about yourself, whatever things you have written, then maybe you can just store something like this we created today. Create some simple database, try to store the complete data on your. Okay. So it will just give you the more understanding. You don't need to go through every single part every time. Just ask whatever doubt you have, and you can directly connect and see and get the answer over here. So yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Any doubts? Okay, wait. I'll try to resolve it. Yes, please. Sir, one more thing. Okay, yeah, please. Can GPT sometimes give wrong answers? Exactly. Yes. Mansi, hello, Mansi, ma'am. See, that is what exactly I'm going to discuss tomorrow, right? So, whatever things that you have seen now, right? It is very much possible that it will give hallucinated responses. Hallucinate means what? It will randomly try to make up any response, especially now you're already a doctor. Okay. I have worked very closely with an healthcare sector, especially US healthcare. Okay. So, you might have learned know about this open EMR, or you might know about this HIPAA compliances, right? So the things are, like these models, right? So therefore, even in the industries, like when you talk about top tech industries, okay. So these model using, like direct model using is not allowed. Okay, direct model using not, you cannot simply, okay, take this whole GPT model and use it for your own system. That is not allowed. Okay. So why? Because hallucination response is like one thing. So this RAG that I told you, no, this RAG will try to solve that particular problem only. Use case for the medical. So it was just like a doctors, they were expecting, to get the detailed summary of a patient before visiting. Okay, means what kind of medications he has taken. Okay, 6 months history. Okay, what kind of X-rays and all the stuff, every single reports and all will get in short. So that is the main idea. Okay, so it's 100%, like you will see many times. Just try to ask a GPT about very core knowledge. Let's say something, the knowledge it might not have a knowledge about, maybe something very unique. Okay, so it will definitely give the very, very wrong answers, like perfectly, uh, it is very much expected that you will get the wrong answers. Sir, I'm uploading my PDF to a GPT and asking to summarize the chapters. Yeah, 100%, it's fine, no issues. Okay, so that's why, no, so tomorrow whatever thing I'll tell you, no, simple RAG based architecture, no. So there you don't need to upload it anywhere. Keep it in your local only. Try to just apply the code that I'll give you, right? So there now you don't need to explicitly create the summary. You can actually talk with the PDF. You can ask, okay, hey, can you tell me what is the core idea behind this PDF? Example, what is the core idea behind this PDF? Then how it is important for me. Means you can just start ask any question. Let's say you know about what it is. Try to ask a question to it, okay, how it is, what it is, and try to create a summary out of it. Create in your local also. No need to upload it there. If you're uploading, well and good. But if you're doing it in here, okay, local, then you have the control over it. That's it. So when you directly ask everything or GPT, no, it's like you don't have a control over it. You don't have control. Like complete control is in the hands of GPT. You cannot do that anything. You cannot do any specific things for it. So therefore, I always try to add this. I just wanted to know if user can train a model on. Yes, 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 of course. Exactly, exactly, exactly. That is what exactly we call it as fine tuning. Okay, so means whatever things that we do, right? Means what? Industry specific use case. So what we can do now, let's suppose now there is a certain amount of, let's say, knowledge that GPT don't have. Okay, just now I talked about an e-commerce site where they wanted to make their user experience very, very perfect for their, let's say, different policies that they have. So now for that particular case, what will happen? We will explicitly try to pass some custom data to the chat GPT. And what we'll say, okay, now use your intelligence and we will try to train a model. We'll try to pass this complete data to a GPT. And now combination of both of them will give you the perfect answers. The answers. Okay, yes, definitely. That's what we call as fine tuning of the data. You can definitely create it. I just want to know. Yes, yes, you can to give the right answers. Gives the wrong answers. Okay. Sir, I'm uploading my PDF. Okay, fine. Okay, so guys, anything else? Anyone? I think maximum doubts are being solved. If anyone have still anything, please ask. Or else we are good to go. Hello, sir. I did not receive. Can you send me that? Like who's there from the team? From the team, anyone is here? Yeah, Sushmita, someone is asking for the link. Can you please share the link again here?
Yeah, sure. I will be sharing it.
Sure. Okay. For correcting English grammar or sentences, which model is used by GPT? Okay, so now for that, you explicitly have the, something called as grammar detection models. Okay. Like, it's explicitly either you can create it by your own. That is like, one case, like, there are multiple Hugging Face models. So I would always suggest instead of using GPT for such things, spelling checks and all, even normal NLP, if you use, right, in the NLP, we also have something called as, we try to in word net library. Okay, so in that explicitly you have like complete detailed about this spelling corrections. All you need to pass is one single line of code and complete, you will get a very perfect answers to it. Okay, perfectly, okay, like explicitly I would never suggest anyone for such a small task to correct the spellings. No need to use a directly GPT. But yeah, which particular model GPT uses to understand this spelling corrections? It's just like imagine like, it can be any transformer based architecture and it has its own understanding, right? So either you can just say uh, so first of all, there are some recognition models. Okay. Now let's suppose if I now talk in more clear way. So yeah, GPT 3.5 also has like a very good capability to understand it, right? GPT 4 also like of course. So internally they are using GPT 4 only, right? But yeah, I mean it's not too difficult to judge it. You have like multiple models, on open source also you can easily train them to get this data done. That's sometimes ChatGPT not answering the image. Today I uploaded 4 images of storytelling at once. It replies in the form of programs with their own generated. Yeah, it might be the issue with this one, right? I mean, see, sir, I was trying Hugging Face pretend model text to image. The image generated was not appropriate. What might be possible reason? See, now when you try to use these open source models, right? So it is always a possibility that it's always a thing. Okay, you will never get the very perfect answers, right? So maybe what you can do is first of all just try to create. Let's see any different API you can get, or either what you can do try to train the model from scratch. But I would not suggest that because you will require a whole amount of data. And let's say also try to check if there are any open source APIs instead of directly using any Hugging Face models. Just see open source APIs are there which are doing that. There are different applications. No, pass a text, you'll get an image, and then try to check their backend how they have implemented that. Right. So through that you will get an idea, okay, what they have used. But I don't think there should not be a very much high level problem. Yeah, simple problems can be there, but yes, there are a particular name for the algorithm. For which one? So in the NLP, you are asking which algorithms do we use to do the spelling corrections in NLP? Yes. Let me just. Oh, okay. See, when you talk about traditional NLP, right? For the spelling corrections, you explicitly don't need to go for such models. Like it just like you have first of all. Okay. Now instead of directly saying that, what we can do, let's suppose I have few things. Let's say. Okay, there is something called as N-bird model, Ngram models. There is something bird-based models. Okay, but there are like multiple here. I mean, like explicitly there is like a few also. There are also few libraries in NLTK. Okay, which explicitly tell you and you can directly pass the sentence, and from that sentence you will get the correct sentence spelling of the correct sentences over there. Because it's like millions of dictionaries already there, millions of words are there. Pass one word, you will get the correct word, right? So now if I just say, let's suppose now if you talk about NLTK, explicitly you have something called as text blob. You can search about it. Okay, text blob. So you don't need to do anything, simply just import the text blob and simply let's say pass the text over here. Let's say you'll pass a text, let's say text blob, and in bracket you can pass, let's say I have a very good something like, write complete wrong spellings and just run it. In output you will get the correct sentence. Okay, it is a line of 2 lines of code, that's it. It's as easy. Okay, there is something also called as autocorrect, again in NLTK only, right? So NLTK is just like a library. Okay, so is autocorrect library will only only by itself it will try to let's say autocorrect the sentences. uh, okay, there are so many doubts here. Okay, wait, changing not answer. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, please, guys, we'll take the remaining doubts, right? So there are like so many. Okay, what we'll do, you can just come prepared for the doubts. So what we'll do tomorrow, we'll try to stop it around 4:30, and for half an hour we'll just take the doubts only. Okay, so you can have like as many doubts as you can, and tomorrow we'll talk about it. Okay, so then thank you so much, guys. It was wonderful interacting with you all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, take care.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable class. So we'll meet again by tomorrow at 3 p.m. So dear faculty members, as sir informed, if you have any doubts to be asked, please keep it in a note. So tomorrow for a half an hour, you can ask the doubts. Okay. Fine. I hope you all marked your attendance. As you all know, attendance is going to be closed on 3:30. Sorry, 5:30. So I'll be sharing it once again on the chat. If you have missed out to mark an attendance, kindly mark your attendance. So we are winding up for the day. We'll meet again by tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thank you. Thank you for joining.